Welcome everybody to Campaigns and Concoctions, where we are a bunch of dirty deviants who like to drink and play TTRPGs. And on this wonderful occasion, where we are recording currently on March 5th, we are officially 1 year into making this thing. We released our first episode on the 6th of March, 2022. And so we are super excited for all of this. I'm actually surprised that we lasted this long.
Same.
And I'm surprised that we're growing. We're growing.
I'm not. We're delightful.
We are delightful. We're not delightful, Curtis. We are fucking delightful. So that's what that one is. But thank you so much, as always, guys, for joining us on this adventure of cooperative storytelling. We kind of sporadically decided, John came up with the idea of doing this as a podcast. We all said, okay, cool. I'd been running a podcast for about a year and a half at that point, an individual one. John and Nate had been guests on it, and we're like, let's do this as a thing.
Why not?
Right? And so I'm actually surprised that we've lasted so long, that it's gotten better, that so many of you out there listen to it. So, I mean, the only reason I think we keep doing it is because the numbers keep trending upwards. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
As always, like, we do this because we love the game. We love to share the stories. We love all of these things. It's brought all of us together. For quite a few of these people at this table, I only met them through this, and they have become some of my best friends ever. So we want to share that love and that joy with you guys. And we thank you so much for listening. If you like what you're hearing, as always, though, share it. Put it out there in the universe, because everyone needs good energy when we can get it. But with that, I think we have not much. No one else has anything else they wanted to say. I think we have some other things in the works that we're probably going to do for next session, but we'll keep those on the quiet, get you guys excited for what's going to happen. But I think on the next thing, let's go ahead and talk about some drinks. Who made some drinks?
Go.
Okay, I'll go first. So this is pretty close to a cocktail called Ready, Fire, Aim. I posted one of these that I made in Discord. This one's a little different. So it's 1 3/4 ounces Reposado Mezcal, like 3/4 ounces of John's Honey Agave.
Serrano.
Serrano agave syrup. It's like ounce of pineapple juice, half ounce of lime juice, and a little less than a half ounce of Ancho Reyes chili liqueur. And then I garnished it with some dashes of paprika on top. And it's pretty good. So.
And then I made a drink that I don't have a name for yet. Was somewhat inspired by Jared's drink and this Balmer Peak overproof single barrel rum. Stuff's delicious, like really, really good. So I did 1.5 ounces of the Balmer Peak overproof single barrel rum. I did 1/2 ounce of Serrano agave. I made a guava syrup tonight, which is pretty tasty. So I did about 1/2 ounce of the guava syrup, about 1/2 ounce of pineapple juice, and 1/2 ounce of Nonino Amaro. And I think that was it. It was a pretty simple cocktail, and I garnished it with a slice of Serrano pepper, which is I'm going to attempt to eat later, and I'm going to enjoy it, and then it's going to try to fight me in 4 hours.
And then, Curtis, you wanted to say something about the distillery that made that delightful rum.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go to Balmer Peak Distillery today over in Lakewood. They're near Alameda and Sims, and it was packed. They had all sorts of cool stuff going on. They had like a pie sale, and they had they had trivia, and then they had like a singer, and it's this tiny little area, and it was standing room only for people to come in and get all these beautiful tiki drinks. One of the drinks that they had was served in a Ark of the Covenant glass, like from Indiana Jones. And as the guy was handed it to him, I was like, "That's the cup of a carpenter." He says, "You chose wisely."
I love it. I love it. So, that's so good.
There's some good guys. I just want to say thank you for Eric, the owner there. I'm looking forward to making more drinks with your stuff. We're gonna call you out when we do. And I was also interested in making some of the drinks that you guys post on your blog. So we're gonna try and tweet you guys and Instagram you guys and TikTok you guys. I'm not the person that does that, so I don't know the verbs. But yeah, we'll let John take care of that. But very impressed with that place. Everybody out in TV land, get down to Balmer Peak and get yourself a Mai Tai. Fantastic.
And if you don't live in the metro area, just know that there are plenty of other places within your space that you can go to.
Oh yeah.
Support local, man. It's the hugest thing that you can do for the local spirits community. If you find something that you like, buy it, and then share it with others, because that's how good things happen and things like this happen. So we always try and support locally. I don't have as much distillery over here at Location Alpha, but like I still do buy the local stuff in Denver because I can get it over here. But
wine though.
Yeah, you got a lot of wine. You got a lot of wine there.
We got a ton of wine. We do have one really good distiller, Peach Street Distilling over here in Palisade. They were really good. So, but yeah, always buy local when you can.
Something else.
Most of the times it's better anyways. So
something else on that note is Americans have a weird relationship to alcohol, specifically Americans. You don't have to drink a bottle the day that you buy it or the day that you open it. You can have lots of bottles of liquor in your home and drink them occasionally. So like if you find a really great rum and you like rum, or you find a really great whiskey and you like whiskey, you can turn that into your house whiskey, your house rum that you always have on hand. And you can just keep it there and drink it whenever you want and make cocktails for yourself whenever you want. And I say that as somebody who, with a little help from my friends, has somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 to 170 bottles of liquor in my home right now. All in various stages of at least half empty. So, when you find something that you really like we almost always have Atticus Jones rye in this house. We almost always have Lafroig and Lagavulin Scotch. We almost always have, what else? We almost always have Nonino, Amaro, and Benedictine. I'd say more
we'll
often
always
than
have
not,
laws.
we always have some smattering of laws. Balmer Peak is definitely quickly climbing into a house spirit slot.
That's my new house rum, dude. I don't see a reason to buy rum.
No, I don't blame you. That and Bumbu. That's the only other one that I would get is Bumbu.
They make a spiced one,
and
they make a silver. So they got 3 different rums there.
There's a few agricoles that I would also buy, but that's different. It's different. It's not the same thing.
But the theme of the story is, friends.
Yeah, is it's okay to have a few bottles of, a couple bottles of each thing that you enjoy, and stick to it, right? And experiment, make some cocktails with it, and and especially if it's a local distiller that you can buy from, that's huge. To support a diverse spirits kind of environment, and community. Also, I would like to point out, just as a matter of stroking my own ego right now, I currently have 5 beverages in front of me. One of them is an Arnold Palmer, courtesy of Arizona Tea. I also have a mimosa because I've been drinking mimosas since 10:30 a.m. I have a neat pour of the Balmer Peak Overproof Single Barrel Rum. I have a neat pour of Lagavulin, and I have the cocktail that I made all in front of me. So at the same time as I'm saying you don't have to drink an entire bottle at once, you can also drink a whole bunch of other things all at the same time, which keeps you from blasting through the bottle you bought earlier today all in one sitting.
John, you have always been a drink goblin.
I am a drink goblin. I absolutely am. I have to have a minimum of 3 drinks in front of me at all times.
And it's not just alcoholic drinks, dude. It's just I've watched you have...
No. I'll have a soda water and a beer and a scotch, or, I've always got at least 3 drinks in front of me. It's just the way I roll.
So with all of that being said, so shout out to all of our local distillers, and hey, if you guys have your local distillers that you like, put them in the Discord. Shout it out to people. We'll try them if we can get them at our local spots. So, but with that being said, the last time that this group got together, you'll also notice that we are down a voice right now. Matt is recovering from a work trip that he had to deal with, and it's
that big ass trade show.
It wiped him out. So feel better, Matt, and I hope you know, we know he doesn't listen, but we're still going to put the energy out there.
Right. Put it into the universe. We know for a fact that he does not listen.
Yeah, he's very, very clear on that one.
Yeah, he's adamant to let us know.
The last time we met, we cleaned up a few things, and it was a shopping episode. The purchasing of goods happened in 2 separate segments of last episode, and then eventually the group began the multi-day journey afloat to across the desert to the city of, I have it here and I cannot remember what I had. Don't you just love when that happens, when you have names of everything and you cannot remember what it is? Oh man, where is it? Oh, Strawich.
Yes.
Strawich. I have 15 million pages of notes, and they are on all kinds of different places. So that happens. Tell me you're a DM without telling me you're a DM. My notes are located in multiple locations, both digitally and hard copy. So as the Shirlene has landed, and sorry, I've got people screaming in my house right now. As the Shirlene has landed and the party has deplaned, I guess would be the de-shipped, deboarded.
Yeah. Disembarked.
Yeah, there's the better word. The town of Strawich lays out in front of you. It is relatively small, but it is surrounded by a large mud wall. The main street, as you come up to the gate, you notice that it sits at the northern end of the town. It doesn't bisect it in half like most places do. As the 6 of you walk through, you very much have a kind of thing. I don't know how to describe that. Sorry, guys, my microphone cord popped out. So I don't know exactly how to describe that. Kind of that Wild West thing going on, right?
You make a sound effect.
Say again.
You make a sound effect.
I just tried to with the whistle. It didn't work. So
screeching of a hawk.
Yeah. So the big thing is here, you notice that as you're looking around, the population of Strawich is goblins, dragonborn, and orcs. Yeah. And you are now clearly the center of attention of everyone on the main street who can see you.
Holy shit.
We'll have to go into all these new places and trying new drinks. Let's go get some.
I'm in. I'm always in.
Sark instantly goes on like head on a swivel mode and drops to the back of the group.
Okay. So you would have been given information from Uloth on exactly where in Strawich Brassic Wraithbeard is located. Was that? Yeah, that was his name.
That's the mage. We also have...
Oh, that's right. That's the mage.
I think we have the contact Yarthal Gorlax.
That's right. Yarthal Gorlax.
Yes.
I've got too many names on my notes, and I'm not doing a good. There it is. Yarthar Gorlax. Brosic is Brosak is the dwarf mage.
Yep.
See, even the DM who has notes extensively loses track of everything. It happens. So Yalthor's place is located here on the main street. You did not get any information about what kind because no one asked, but it is some sort of like place of business. So What would you guys like to do?
El's really only half paying attention. He's got a notebook out. He's been working on formulas and stuff the whole time they've been flying there. So you just got a bunch of ingredients to play with.
Yeah, I'm ready to see Yothor Gorlax.
Okay. So Sid, are you leading everybody off?
Yeah, I'll start walking towards where we were supposed to go. I got a mission, objective to achieve.
Sounds good. I'm assuming everyone follows.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
He knows where the bar is.
I assume so.
Yeah.
As you walk down the dusty main street, you see that this place is definitely not ordered in the same way most cities are. The roads are winding and twisting. There's no like set block length. Most are made out of wood and stone and mud. Think like a 19th century Wild West town, kind of closer to Mexico, right? Or like an Arizona Western town, you know. So there's always kind of a gentle wind with dust blowing. And as you walk through the town, you hear the whispers of the natives as you are moving past. It seems that there are not much outside of certain types of people who are here in this town. But fairly quickly, you find the shop front of Yalthor. There's no words on the wood sign that hangs out front. It's merely a carved and painted dragon wing that hangs from a wood pole. It's not like a sign with a dragon wing on it. It looks like it's actually a hanging dragon's wing that's been carved out of wood.
Oh, okay. I was
And
like,
it's painted like an orangish brown.
Does it look like the door I should knock, or like you can just enter into it?
Make a wisdom check.
Pretty good. 13.
You're pretty sure that you can just walk in.
Okay. So I'll just walk in.
Okay. As you enter in, the interior of this particular building does not match the exterior town. This place feels like an old library, an old reading room. It's wood lined, dark, flame lit, with sconces along the walls carrying torches. The walls are lined with books and scrolls and parchment. And it's surprisingly cool considering how warm it is in the exterior of this town.
Sark breaks his paranoia and just starts looking at all the books and not quite touching them, but looking at all the different spines and stuff.
Are you trying to see if you can maybe find something, or are you just kind of perusing?
Just absorbing it.
Okay.
He's like, books.
A second or two after El steps in, where he's just kind of mostly been following whoever's in front of him and not really paying attention. As soon as he registers it's darker and colder in here, he's just going to put the notebook away. Did I fall off the ship when we stopped?
No, it's real.
Heaven's real. Cool. And then just start wandering, looking through books licking its spines, basically doing the same thing Sark is doing.
Yeah. Are you just You're just absorbing as well, or are you actually going to take a look at titles or anything like that?
I was mostly just absorbing, unless there's something that jumps out at me.
Okay. Let's see here. Sorry, I got to pull something up real quick. Okay. So, what would you guys like to do as you walk in?
So Sid will take a moment to she acknowledges the books and the temperature change. But again, I think she's kind of on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'll walk, kind of look for whoever, for somebody that's staff or possibly Yothor himself.
Make a perception check for me, please.
Nice. That is like a 23, I believe.
Nice.
Yes.
So none of the shelving here goes above the average humanoid's chest height, right? They're pretty low to the ground. And as you look around, everything that's not on the walls seems to be unused parchment, inkwells, things that you can make some sort of journal, maybe a spell book with.
Okay.
And as you look at the back, you see that there is so everything's it's brownish, like a kind of a really dark brown, what's that bar? I think it's Historians down on Broadway.
Uh-huh.
That's got that wood. It's wood lined in all the books. It's like that, right? But you notice that in the back, there's a door frame and a door that is pitch black, right? With a brass handle. And right in front of it is a coffee table and 4 high back chairs, like plush chairs that are have been upholstered in purple velvet, and everything here just belies a level of sophistication that you're just not expecting in this town, right? In one of the chairs, one that's facing towards the door, you see a mottled, I think is the term. Mottled, you know, where it's like the spotchy brown and orange skinned dragonborn, dressed in black leather pants, a white shirt with a black waistcoat, and what are those?
Cravat?
Yes, thank you.
You guys use all these words and I have no grasp of sometimes of what they are.
This is a library. He's a
Similar-
librarian. He's a history major. He loves books and writing and tools and all that
Jared,
stuff.
a cravat is similar to an ascot.
Okay.
I guess I'm the ascot.
Just saying, I knew where to go, all right? I knew where to go.
So
Cravats usually
Yeah.
have a pin
Got it.
and they're slightly smaller.
Yeah, slightly
Okay.
smaller.
And then on
And
his beak, his beak that he has balanced these two a set of spectacles, right? That are purplish in color, and he's got in his hands a book,
Cool.
right?
Fucking
And
cool.
he acknowledges you.
We knew Yothor was a dragonborn, right?
Yes,
It's
you
not
did.
in my notes, but I'm pretty sure I remember that.
Yes, you did.
Holy
As
crap!
soon as I
remembered
clock him
something.
looking at us, I
What was
just
his
pull
last
out my
name?
pendant
Gorlax.
so he can catch it
Mhm.
and then slide it back.
So, feeling the studiousness of the surroundings, I think I'll.
He
approach-
acknowledges you, and
Okay.
he quickly says, "Welcome, outsiders. We don't get much that look like you in this town. I am Yalthor,
What's the name of this town? Strawich.
and what is it that I can do for you?" And he has this very sophisticated way of speaking, right?
So Ludan,
Let me
right?
think of if anyone has been to one of these towns.
Yeah.
Has
We're looking
in
for
anyone's
information
backstory,
on the staff.
or
Mhm.
has anyone talked?
Or
Anyone
has-
know about the town of Sayo at all? I don't think so. It's in the
No.
syndicate. It's a no. Yeah.
No.
I was gonna say I'm
but-
trying to separate where I've heard it from, and I don't think it's in Sark's backstory.
But let me get L and Sark to roll a history check for me real quick. I'm trying to rack my brain on everyone's backstory. And I didn't think so, but
Not bad. Try again.
Didn't even hit the table.
Interesting. I got an 11.
okay.
24.
Sark, you have heard this style of speech before. With a 24 L, you recall that the people of the town of Sayo, which is not very far from Tinkermere in the syndicate, speak with a very similar lilt, right? It's very much that way. It's got almost in real world kind of almost a Japanese accent, but it's very sophisticated. Do we have notes? Do you have questions on, guys? Hold on.
Does that? Would I know if there's a specific change in how you address people based on that? Like if they use like Japanese naming convention or something along those lines?
In this case, because of his name, you would know that he is most likely not from there originally. Or if he did, he changed his name intentionally. So you would probably not. You roll a 24, so you get a lot of stuff. So you would probably not want to use anything from those spaces.
Okay.
What is it that I can do for the six of you?
Sorry, real quick, if I can jog my memory.
Of course.
Do we have any information about why Yathorn Gorlax was the contact?
He's a contact of
brothers.
9 brothers,
Okay.
and will be able to give us more information on where the mage is.
He is known and associated with. He may not. He's not necessarily. I don't think he was. I don't remember if I don't think I told you guys that. He's not a part of them, but he does business with the 9 brothers.
Yeah, he was just. Our 9 brothers office gave him as a contact when
Okay.
we reached here.
So we're looking for a mage. Sorry, I apparently don't
Yeah,
know
we're
what's
looking for Brosak Wraithbeard.
Oh, I am.
Well, we also think that Brosak might be the best informed on where to find the cave
You know
for
what?
the mortar and pestle.
I don't think I was with you guys. That's why I don't have it in my notes.
Nope,
Oh,
you went later, but they informed you guys of him
Yeah.
later.
Anyway, all right.
If not, we had a week to tell you it on the trip up.
Sure. Sir Yathorn, we're searching for a mage. What's the name again? Sure, this down.
Brosak Wraithbeard.
He, as you're trying to think of it, he actually says, "Ah, yes, Brosik. He is probably the main reason why." And he's very nonchalant. He's looking at his claws, and he's kind of doing these kinds of things is like this. He's like, "Yes, he's the main reason I'm able to stay in business." That cryptic old man. Yes, he lives a hermit's life far to the north of here, at the base of the man, I can't even remember my own names. It's the Blood Teeth Mountains.
That I have somewhere.
Yep.
I have Bloodtooth Mountains. Yeah.
He has a hut there at where a well has been dug. So
Okay. Yeah, we're just seeking him out. Can I just say your establishment is quite amazing.
I've worked very hard to get this way. Please, I can bring more chairs. Tea, anyone? Would you? I have a feeling that you have questions that are needing to be answered.
I love tea. And
And
all
you
of a sudden,
watch-
you see like Fid's like demeanor of like business fades into like pleasure. Like she just the tea pleasure.
And you watch as he closes with his left hand. He closes his book, and it's fairly small. It'd probably be about the size of this notebook here, one of these. It's kind of like, what is that, probably about 6 inches tall, but it's fairly thick. He's got he's big size. He's a dragonborn.
So it looks a little small in his hands.
Yeah. But as he closes it, you watch as he actually casts some somatic elements with the pointer finger of his right hand, and you watch as 3 more chairs materialize seemingly out of nowhere, and then very much sword in the stone style, the door opens and a tea set comes in, floating, and lays out a perfect tea service for everybody. And I think because of the long talk we had beforehand, I think right there, let's take a real quick break before we get too deep into some more lore, because I see Curtis getting ready to make a drink. I think everyone needs drinks. I need a drink. So we'll take a real quick break, and we'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back, everybody, to Campaigns and Concoctions, where we have constantly planned on what we would do if this podcast ever got big enough that we made money.
Or if anything, any of us did ever got big enough where any of us made money.
We would do this full time, for fuck's sake. So before we roll into the game, I think we have at least one drink.
I think we got 3 or 4.
I just want to stand out.
I think we have 2. You made 1 and I made 1.
I made 2.
Okay.
And you made 1.
Yeah.
And so we got 3.
Make something.
I did math, I promise. I made a beverage with the Balmer Peak rum. It has 2 ounces of the overproof barrel-aged Balmer Peak rum. It has 1 ounce of pineapple juice, 3/4 of an ounce of lime, and it has 1/2 ounce of yellow chartreuse. I think if I was to do it again, I would do 3/4 of an ounce of yellow chartreuse. And I also put a peel of grapefruit in with the shaker to add a little bit more effervescence to it. Shook it up, double strained it into a Nick and Nora glass, and garnished it with some nutmeg shavings. And I kind of want to call it Seaside Peaks.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I haven't actually tried that one.
I mean, we are
live
not
tasting.
too far from some seaside peaks, so
Yeah.
at least in game, I should say. All right,
Well,
next.
also in real life, when the big quake hits,
Or climate change.
Seaside Peaks.
We're only like 20 years from the Rocky Mountains being seaside.
Or
Arizona Bay, Arizona Bay.
Yeah.
when the final ramifications of
I have thought
climate
this
change
so many
happens.
times. Like, there's no earthquakes here. There's no hurricanes here. We really don't even get tornadoes.
No, we really
We're
don't.
good. And if everything melts, or it gets, global warming gets 20 degrees hotter, still fine.
Yep, gonna be pretty
Still
okay.
fine.
We're gonna be pretty okay.
All right.
That's why I plan to die in the Water Wars. I plan to be the warlord of Arapaho. I've already got an outfit picked out.
You think I don't?
One, be real.
Well, like 3. You gotta
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like,
Okay.
you gotta have like,
Curtis.
like
Second.
the like court, warlord of Arapaho outfit. You have to have the the official going out amongst the war band and intimidating nearby local warlords, and then you have the casual. I'm a person of the people. Warlord.
Yeah, you gotta
so
earn
you can,
trust.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
can
I'm already working on the haircut.
lord your war over them.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Okay.
The
We can
other
go down
thing
that
I
rabbit.
made-
Let's save it. Because that's a big rabbit hole we could all go down.
Right. Yeah.
Nate, what you got?
I was gonna let Curtis do a second one.
Okay.
I made a rum old fashioned, and it has the 2 ounces of the Balmer Peak aged rum. It's got 5 dashes of Angostura bitters. If I was to do it again, and I had my tiki bitters here, I would do 2 tiki and 2 Ango. And it has 2 bar spoons of elderflower syrup from, I think, Czechoslovakia, which is not a place anymore. Czech Republic. with a grapefruit twist and garnished.
Otherwise known as Chetcha. Now,
They changed it again.
Changed
I
the name,
forgot
yep.
about that. Jeez.
I'll chat you later. That's the yeah.
okay. Oh man, Nate, what you got, dude?
I think I'm tentatively calling this one Witch's Tea,
Ooh, I like it.
which is 1.5 ounces Blanco tequila, 0.75 ounces of Saint Germain, along with 0.75 ounces of the guava syrup we have, and 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. I just dirty dumped this. It'd probably be better over a cube, but definitely have ice in it. The dilution helps the drink as it ages.
Lengthens it, yeah.
So it's straight. It's a little medicinal. With a little more water, it gets a little more floral and opens up a bit better. And Jared's dying off of his drink, so we're good to go.
Let's go.
Yep, good to go.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right. So when we left off, Yalthor, because Morgan can never pronounce his NPC names the same ever. Yalthor had just conjured 3 more chairs and had brought in a full tea service. I mean, and it's like fancy, like really nice teacups, the kettle. You can feel the heat, or you can see the heat off of it. There's also one of those. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Brown Palace when they do afternoon tea, and they have like the cucumber sandwiches and the little scones and all that shit. Like it's all they got the tower that comes along with it. So he clearly displays his ability to dabble in the arcane. He seems. So let me get. So Skull doesn't understand magic, so I'm not going to have him roll.
No.
I need L, S. Oh, SO's not there. Sid and Patrice to roll an arcane check for me, please. An Arcana check.
15 for Sid.
15 for Patrice.
Okay.
17 for L. Only rolled a 9.
As the 3 of you kind of watch Yalthor, he has just kind of this casual nonchalantness when it comes to the way that he just manipulates magic, that he definitely is a quite powerful magic user, right? Like the ability to kind of conjure things out of nothingness, L, you didn't know is very difficult.
Right.
So you're pretty sure that Yalthor is quite capable in the arcane. So he sits down. He's still kind of leaned back in his chair. I mean, as you could see from his dapper appearance, he's just got this sophistication that kind of belies an outsideness to his space that he occupies here in town. But he gestures the 6 of you to your chairs. Teacups are being poured, and he looks at everybody and asks, sugar, milk, and he asks everyone how they take their tea. And then he comes to Sark, and he kind of looks at you. How do you take your tea?
Bubbly.
Interesting. So the cup floats over to him,
Finger gun it.
and you watch as before you even get the finger gun, he starts casting somatic elements, and you watch as the tea, like little effervescent bubbles start to
Oh. I'm like, all right.
Also not a magic user.
Yeah. Clearly, he also does not use magic.
So as you sit down, no one of your ilk ever comes up this way just asking one question.
Ilk.
That's fair.
Ilk.
I'm sure it's not the first time you've been called that.
It's not. What ilk is that?
Different. The land, this land The Les Sables Brûlants is not one that is traveled by those outside the tribes. People come here searching for things. So usually, when outsiders who are not of the 3 species that are natives here come, I know that they need something. And I gather, and he looks at you, Sark, that you were sent. Because he did notice your pendant.
Got it.
I do need something. I need some rum for my tea. Do you have any?
I do not have rum.
It's fine. I've got my own. And I pull out some rum.
Oh, I can't offer you whiskey.
Before I pour, I go, yeah, that'll do. And I put the cap back on my flask and stick it back in my belt pouch.
And you notice that the one thing that you notice is that his claws, the nails on his claws, are painted.
Interesting.
So normally for his general coloration, they'd be kind of a blackish color, but they kind of have they have a hint of blue in them that are painted that are not a natural color. And he just kind of, does a come here movement with his left index finger, and the black door opens, and a very nice decanter comes out with a, honey colored liquid that lands right, or that stops right in front of you. And as you pull the stopper, it is a very nice, peaty scent.
Excellent.
Because I know Skald likes the same whiskey that John likes.
Yeah, I only play myself. Every one of my characters is myself.
We've said that every episode.
Yes.
We have to make sure that everyone knows.
Yes.
Patrice moves his cup of tea towards yours as the whiskey is being poured.
I pour about half as much whiskey into Patrice's as I pour into mine.
All right.
And then I cheers you with my teacup.
Clink. Conk.
We were informed by a mutual friend to seek you out for information.
She's not been known to send many people my way, but when she does, it's always interesting. What is it that you are actually seeking right now?
Mazak.
Lots of stuff.
The primary thing we are seeking is the mortal pestle of the 3 ladies.
You watch as his head just kind of looks down, and he's looking over you over the top of his spectacles. That is an item. That is for sure. That can do some things. Is this for personal use, or are you in the employ of someone? And if any time any of these get a little bit too close, I do understand that sometimes the information is not going to be shared, but I can give you better information if I know everything up front.
There was no NDA in that contract we signed.
There was not.
Mage House wants it.
Interesting. I hope you're being well compensated for it.
Terrifyingly so.
They have the money to spare. Always have. They also are another reason why I stay in business. Well, from my understanding, you're actually going to want to go in the opposite direction from where Brasek is. There is a cave about half a day's march from here. There's a path that leads to it. Many have attempted to find this item. However, none have come back. Which is why I think Mage House keeps sending people outside of their order. I don't want to lose anybody. However, the 6 of you have a, shall we say, dangerous aura about you that I respect. I have faith. It'll be a challenge, I'm assured, but We'll see how this goes. What else do you seek? Anything? I mean, little one, and he looks over at L. You said many things.
What's the most interesting book that you have?
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll a D100 for me, because of course I have a table.
That's 10 and 0.
So that would be 20.
Yes.
No, I don't like that one. That's not a good one. Oh, that's too simple.
Roll again.
So what's 10? Just what's 10?
Ooh, yes. 10 is good.
Love that.
The other way to read the dice.
Right?
We don't talk about that.
So you watch as y'all as Yalthor gets up, and so it's kind of hard to see when he's sitting down, but his pants actually kind of he's got those like the backwards chicken legs going on, that are it's not common with Dragonborn, but it's kind of an ancient subspecies that is fairly rare, but they are a much longer lived species. But it's just one of those little giveaways they're not rare enough that you wouldn't have seen them. Like all of you have probably seen one of these at some point. And he walks down, and you kind of watch him as he does one of these and kind of traces his claw across the books, and you hear the click, 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 click as the leather bound editions are struck by his heavy claw, and he grabs one and walks it over, and he's got it, and it's a little bit bigger than the average book. It's it's a fully leather bound piece with what appears to be actual vellum instead of parchment inside, and he hands it to you, L. The title is I'm going clicking on the wrong thing. The Epic of Gilgard. And he says, I would like for you to be fairly careful with that, as it's already quite old, and there are quite a few pages that are missing, as well as some pages that are no longer legible from their age.
As he's holding it out, after he says that, I'll reach into his bag of holding, pull out a pair of gloves, put them on.
So fun fact for the real. Actually, gloves are worse when handling documents because you lose all feeling. I learned that from our archivist recently.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I had always assumed gloves because you see it in the movies, right?
Right.
I was dealing with a World War I photo album, and I was writing the context for it. So
It's more Hollywood lies, you know?
all of it is
Trust them
lies.
Hollywood folks.
Yeah, especially when they start singing.
Oh, the worst. The absolute worst.
But yeah, we're gonna say though in this world, just to make it, because that's something that Elle would do. That is normal practice when handling old documents, is to use gloves.
I will very carefully take it from him and just sit there and hold it for a little bit. He'll eventually put it in the bag of holding, but he's kind of sit there and hold it. Probably sniff it every once in a while.
I feel that a lot.
It starts out being more discreet of just the. But the longer the conversation goes, the longer the sniff gets.
Not surprised.
So-
Not even a little bit surprised.
In the middle of one of
To the
Al's
point where it just ends up like this.
Yeah, there's.
Right.
If the conversation goes long enough, I was just gonna do a line of book and just
A line of book.
So good.
That's pretty fucking good.
So in the middle of the line of book, like Sid's like, so Yawthorn, asking what one is seeking is a very broad question.
Well, in my experience, people only share what they really need help with. I don't know. When people sit in these seats, they usually end up telling me what they need in this area. Every once in a while, someone just decides to spill everything. But, apparently I've got one of those faces. And you see a very toothy, almost predatory grin kind of crack his face, but it's not threatening at the same time. It's very, it's interesting. It's an interesting smile. It's someone who is very self-aware and self-confident in themselves, right?
Patrice mimics his smile as best he can and nods knowingly. People like to talk to me too.
Give me a performance check, dude.
For that, I'm asking.
Drink, motherfucker. Drink, motherfucker. Natural one. That is.
Hey, should I bust out the Balmer Peak no more?
No. Once.
Oh, that's funny.
No. Next time.
That was so fun to watch come out of this.
God.
I don't know how often I've actually watched dice come out of your tower, but that was priceless.
I kind of, in my head, I was thinking it, and it happened. I was like, oh, it'd be really nice to roll one right now. Morgan?
As his eyes turn to you, you watch as the smile gets even more predatory. And you do feel uncomfortable with it, maybe even slightly threatened. As he realizes you were full of shit. You believe that people want to talk to you, but
I'm going to lean over to Sark and just not particularly loud, but not making any effort to not be heard. Just go, I see why we like him.
Which one?
Yes.
Cat.
Sark's going to take this moment and just be like,
As a purveyor of profound and old knowledge, do you have anything on your shelves or in your non-material keeping on Ravenholt?
I gotta remember.
Magical prison that was like magical prison that Prosperin wants us to find.
Yeah. Yes.
What the fuck?
Holy shit! I rolled 2 dice because he does have advantage on this because it's his shop. I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20.
That's 2 drinks.
oh, 2 drinks!
Whoa,
2 drinks!
Hey! Extra long cheers or something. I don't know.
Chug, motherfucker, chug.
Chug, motherfucker, chug. That's the first one of the campaign, I bet.
2.
Are you writing your things?
So
Just thinking about it.
I got this really great gift of a steampunky die, and that was the 1. And then I have this die that says fuck for natural 1 and yeah for natural 20. So
Fuck yeah!
so he kind of replicates that walk that he does. And he's perusing his stacks, and as he's gets towards kind of the middle of the far wall, he grabs a book and he pulls it out. Excuse me. That was rough. Where is that? I know I have it here somewhere. Dang it. There it is. He pulls it out and he brings it to you. It's fairly thin. It's also nearly the age of the book that was handed to L.
Okay.
What do you speak and read?
Common, Gnomish, and well, CSL. But that yeah, that's both.
Okay. Yep. So, yeah, you can't read it as it pops up.
Having been to this state before, I just look at it and go, Skald, I'm going to need you to do your not magic and read this for me.
Okay, no problem.
So Yalthor kind of scratches it through the dust underneath the title. And he says, there are words here that I don't think anyone can actually understand through traditional knowledge of words.
I think I got it. Don't worry.
I'm pretty sure you do as well. But
and I so the way that I cast comprehend languages, just so we all know, I take a look at the book and I start flipping through pages and I squint and I get my face real close and I back it up and I turn the book upside down and I turn it back over and I flip a few pages, and unbeknownst to Skeld, he's actually doing somatic maneuvers throughout this.
Maneuvers.
Yes, he's doing somatic maneuvers, totally without his own knowledge, and he's mumbling a bit. And he the last thing that he does is he puts the book down and he rubs both his eyes really hard, and he picks the book back up and he's like, "There we go."
And you're rubbing your eye patch, right?
Yeah. Yeah. One eye and his eye patch, just rubbing both of them. Yeah. I think what he does is he closes his eye that you can see. He lifts his eye patch up, rubs both eyes, puts the eye patch back down, and then opens the one eye that you can see again. And is like, that works. There we go. And then
Perfect.
he can comprehend languages. Yeah.
So you understand the title of this book. It's called The Void Scroll of the Weave.
The Void Scroll of the Weave. People who care about this should write this down.
Yep. Ahead of you.
Because Skald is going to read this to y'all. He's not going to remember shit. Because he's like, I don't know, some magic bullshit.
Very much so.
Sark, as he watches the performance again, just looks at Yalthar and goes, mouths, not magic. And goes back to just watching Skald.
Air quotes? Did you air quote?
Yeah.
Air quotes.
I can't see you, so that's why I haven't asked.
I tried to lean forward. It wasn't in
You're
view.
good.
Fine.
I heard it in your voice. So
Yeah,
I wanted to double check.
absolutely.
Okay, you can really only see John's.
Yeah,
face.
pretty much. You can just see John. Yeah.
I can see. So normally I can see John and Matt, and I can see half of Jared.
Yeah. That checks out.
We should
Patrice,
fix that.
Patrice asks very timidly, seeing the smile, are you also a lover of poetry? And do you have any interesting tomes filled with verse?
I believe I may. And
Don't
just so
you
you guys know, at no point has he actually he's giving these books to you clearly with the intent for you to keep. And at no point has he even mentioned a cost.
What? I'm aware.
Sark's very aware of this guy. He's like,
He this is really close to where you guys he reaches, and it's another really small text, and it's called and this is in common, the Bawd, BAWD, like body.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna get dirty limericks. It's gonna be great. Oh, that's cool.
Ding 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 ding.
I just got some saucy limericks. And
That's
then
exactly what it says on my table.
saucy limericks.
A book of saucy limericks.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Women, it sure is a crime to consort with a man, not a rhyme. Limericks don't go out drinking, and they may leave you thinking, and they last almost twofold the time. That's described on the title page.
I accept the book gently. As I saw the other two gentlemen take some serious reverence associated with the tomes that they received, I do the same. And I reach into my pack and I pull out a collection of my mother's poetry, and I say, I would like to offer this as to you as part of your library. These are the collections of verse of Zora Shakerton.
And you watch as a notebook from the coffee table pops up and opens, and a quill appears above it, and it seems to be taking notes as you speak into the title of the book. And he opens it up, and it just kind of falls open as he just kind of opens his hand. Like the casualness of his magic is stunning for those of you who consider themselves magic users. And he reads one real quick, and he closes it up. And he places it back exactly where the bod came from. He says, I believe that will be a fine addition to my collection. Thank you. But to go back to the Void Scroll, there was a time not long after the end of the Age of Arcana where those arcane users who created the major schools of magic sought to imprison their rivals as they began to come together. The Ravenhold Institute is a facility that was created to house the most powerful of arcane users. Sorcerers, warlocks, wizards, and artificers were rounded up throughout the entire globe and placed within a masterworked penitentiary, one that most of them actually labored to build. There was a time when many of us were on the run from the hunters of this group. Luckily, they are no longer concerned of the world, as a quiet yet powerful group took care of their most nefarious members, even though some of their old members still live.
Can I get
That is what you seek.
Read on kind of like his trustworthiness? Like, is he content with holding up in this, not really trying to mess with anything beyond his own little?
Yep. Go ahead and make an insight check for me, please.
That's an 11.
Yeah, you're quite confident that he is telling the 100% truth.
The inquiry is coming from an employer on par with those who created it.
Do you have a name you'd be willing to share?
One of Richter's daughters is our current contact.
And you watch as the quill comes back up in the notebook. Much power has always flowed through that family. Trust to know that they generally seek the betterment of all. However, they have been insular at times. Do not cross them.
Sark's just gonna look at Elle and go, "Yeah, no, that never crossed our minds." There's
The
like
Lord
3 people
Richter's-
in the world we fear, and there are 2 of them.
The Lord's Richter's reach is one that even I concern myself with. We have crossed paths in the past, and fortunately, we have remained on good terms. But that was long, long ago.
Since you know who's asking and where our permanent employee comes from, one moment. Finding a name. Nope. Further back.
What are you looking for?
The one we're looking for. That's supposed to be in Ravenholt.
His name is Ovisium, Nate.
Yes, that one. We are potentially on the lookout for Ovisium himself, or at least his soul.
And you watch, so his beak, he's got this kind of like little like bonish, hornish protrusion for a nose. And so he clicks his claw on it, and you hear this click as he's thinking about it. And he says, "One moment." You guys are lucky at the very beginning of this encounter, he rolled well enough to just be trusting. So this is what's happening. Sometimes you guys, the DM's rolls go in your favor. He walks through the black door, and he comes out, and he hands you a book, and he says, "As you can tell, I do have a large repository of knowledge. I just can't keep it up here," as he taps on his head. "I must keep it written down." And this one he hands to you, Elle. You can see that this guy's pretty insightful, an insightful creature. And the book's title is "The Master Work of a Bygone Age."
And like as reverent as Elle was for the first one, he's just kind of sitting there holding it exactly how it was handed to him, and hasn't really moved for a little bit. After I read the title.
Just so you know, Ovisium is the pinnacle of all artificers. He created the most powerful weapons and items that did not involve a deity. Unfortunately, he cursed all of them. And when one of them was to be used against him, it was supposed to capture the soul of those that killed him. Well, we're not exactly sure if one was used against him or not. But we haven't heard from him approximately 2 millennia.
What do you think of the name? That's why it's good.
What would be an appropriate collateral for these treasures, since I fully intend on giving mine back?
Oh, no, that's not how this works. Those are yours to keep. All I ask is, since you're heading that way, to give Brosik this month's order. That's all I ask. And when you come upon some interesting knowledge, and he points, and he's got what appears to be an old writing desk, which I believe you all are familiar with. It is a way that you can write to people throughout the globe. There's magic with it. As long as you know who to address, you can actually sit. You as you write it out, it writes out on on a corresponding desk of the person that you were trying to write to. Please let me know, and I will arrange to acquire that interesting information from you. That's all I ask. Is there anything else that you would all like to know, maybe about the area, or are you good with what you know?
Will Brossick's order require us to use the airship we have use of?
No. It's just the man makes spell books like I make tea. So
you can talk to him.
I like him already. Now I like him more.
And as he comes out, he does the come here motion with his left hand again, and as the black door opens, a small crate comes out that is open, and as you look in, it is stacks of parchment, as well as the material to bind a book, and leather covers. Brassick's place, and he does a few somatic things, and a map appears on the coffee table, and he tells you about half a day's walk from here. Usually I hire one of the locals to take care of it, but I think that the six of you, as you're rolling around, going there already, that maybe this would be good enough payment for me.
And this is the same direction as the cave?
Nope.
Opposite direction, actually.
Opposite. Right.
So we're going to have a half a day there and a full day back to the cave.
It's not too bad.
Right.
And at this point, it's probably about mid-morning. So.
Yeah. Can you give us a synopsis of the drinking establishments in town for my fellows?
This isn't a drinking establishment?
Not the kind Scald is looking for.
I mean, I like
also, it's not.
She's
No,
really
this is
good.
a repository of information. I just like you.
I like you too.
Yeah, you're a lovely host.
That is greatly appreciated. No.
Yawthorn.
Ooh, I like that one. So there is an inn, he tells you, called Steed and You.
Ooh.
EWE.
Nice.
The rarity might be something he'd serve to others.
That's true.
My favorite random generator that I have is literally all it does is make British pub names.
Beautiful. As well it should.
That's amazing.
It's so good.
I'm okay with it.
Do you bracket all the places that sell beverages with boobs in your notes, Jared? Or is it just
No,
this one?
the targets are locations.
Targets.
Targets.
They're definitely boobs.
Yeah, those are boobs.
The brackets are people.
The breasts are.
Hey, you tell me.
Look, whatever mnemonic you need to use to remember the places that sell booze. Look, booze and boobs, very similar sounding.
You know, boobs
Just
take
saying.
me to another place too.
Samesies. Hard samesies. Big hard samesies.
Anyways, sorry, I've tried to come up with ways to find things quickly in my notes. Most of the time it works.
It
It
Your
seems to
attention.
be working. It seems to be working well.
I mean, I can't blame you.
I love you
But
guys.
he does say that it is a middling establishment that has above average cuisine and below average booze.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need the best booze in the world if I'm eating good.
However, you do get the sense that because he is most like Yalthor is probably a bit of a booze and food snob, so his below average could be better than most places.
Sure.
So
I have one more thing.
Okay.
In all your readings, have you come across anything about what would we be called? Humanoids being able to be infused with dragon blood to cause magic, to induce magic users.
Man, be glad that I'm rolling like this tonight and not when you guys are fighting something.
Yeah.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan.
I've had one roll below a 13.
Damn.
And that was the one.
That was the one on an advantage roll.
You are the one.
There can only be one.
There can be only
My
one.
bad.
It's like what's the Star Trek? The split infinitive.
Oh, infinite.
It's to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Mhm.
It should be to go boldly. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. It should be there can only be one. It's not. It's there can be only one.
English language. Hard.
Yeah, it's dumb.
This time he sits here and he thinks really hard, and you watch he eventually starts pacing, and you watch as kind of mindlessly he begins with his right hand casting somatic elements, and little orange sparks begin to kind of pop out of his claws as he's thinking really, really deeply. Ah, yes, he says, as he walks over to when you came in on the left side, there was kind of a little tucked away area, and he opens up, there's a trunk there, and he pulls out this really, really old scroll of vellum. And he comes to you and he hands you this scroll, Sid.
Okay.
This is, I think, half myth, half truth. But I give this to you because I believe this may lead you on the right direction.
As he does so, Sid will bubble up a copper greenish, like think Statue of Liberty, like copper turning into like that weather green, bubble that kind of floats in your hands. And I say, thank you. You have no idea how long I've been searching.
Well, I can't promise you that this is going to answer your questions. Generally speaking, those seeking knowledge come away with more questions than answers. But this may help you on your journey. Maybe form those questions a little bit more intelligently.
Sid will do kind of like a partial torso bow, as much as her pride will allow her, or her position would allow her. It is much obliged.
He takes off his spectacles and wipes them off on a handkerchief and puts them back on the bridge of his beak. And he says, always, we may seem far and separated, but those of us up here do understand the importance of sharing information and knowledge, especially knowledge. So thank you for the tea and the time and the conversation. It was wonderful. And if you wouldn't mind taking it again, the crate lifts back up and heads over to the door. And he says, if there is nothing else, I do believe I would like to take my lunch now.
What are you having?
Whatever's being made for me, but that will be alone.
Oh, okay.
Sark is going to quietly and as sneakily as possible leave behind the children's book that he found the story of Haven in, just sitting next to his cup of tea. It's a 25 on sleight of hand.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus.
No, my bad. Hang on. It's a 23.
Okay.
Not quite that good.
He's got a good passive, but not that good.
Nice.
And L is leaving behind a page from his notebook with a 22 for sleight of hand.
Fuck.
Also, drink, motherfucker, drink.
Yay!
There we go.
Well, that's going on.
There's booze in front of you.
Dude, that pineapple juice is so good.
Right?
You gotta squeeze natural pineapple. I don't care. It's way better.
All right.
The page Al is leaving behind is then his notes about the facility that they found in Haven.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
In Haven or the one next to it, Rugen?
No, the one in Haven.
In Haven.
Remember, the one in Haven has all the recordings and the portals and shit.
Oh yeah.
It's not all of the information that he has on it, but it's the fact that it's there, where it is.
The summary, the abstract.
Yeah.
Anytime you're in town, feel free to stop by for a cup of tea. I hope the rest of you have, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. And he heads towards the black door.
Can I stop really quick? And I'm going to pull out a bag of just tea from my homeland and give it to him as a thank you.
Now that is a gift. And he places it on the coffee table. And he starts heading back towards the black door. What are you guys doing?
As soon as he stood up, Al started leaving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sid will stash the scroll for later reading and also head towards the door.
Okay.
Patrice pokes Skeld and says, "Dude, that was the best tea I've ever had."
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Whiskey makes tea better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned another
Like
thing.
tea's good on its own.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I've had lots of
But
tea.
then when
Tea
you
for
put whiskey
days.
in it, it's pretty damn good. Like it's a good way to tune up a tea.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
tea tuner.
A tea tuner. Yeah.
What are the things you tune a tea with?
Rum.
Sark will grab the crate as they're leaving.
Break.
Yeah, we might need to take a break because I need to figure out why my computer's not charging.
Also have to pee.
Well, and then I have some things I'll ask you guys off in the break real quick. But yeah, and it's exactly where we're going to be. So as you exit the building, the library, you are going to come out into the midday sun, and we will take a real quick break then, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Campaigns and Concoctions, where we ran a little bit late on that last one, so we're going to keep this one short. We're going to wrap up some things here, but first off, we have a singular drink.
Yep, just one. I made a drink that we went through like 5 different names silently.
No, it was more than that. It was like 8.
8 names silently, and we settled on the Lost Median. This is 1.5 ounces Balmer Peak aged single barrel rum, 0.75 ounce guava syrup, half an ounce of Cointreau, half an ounce of Benedictine, half an ounce of Coqui Americano, half an ounce of Serrano agave syrup, half an ounce of pineapple juice, and half an ounce of lime juice. Shake, strain into a coupe, and garnished with both a pineapple wedge and a Serrano pepper slice. It was fucking delicious. It is a beautiful golden color, and having all of the, like, so many ingredients all right around the same
Volume.
Latitude.
volume.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard the conversation.
You're the one who hasn't been drinking tonight. The golden mean just seemed appropriate. If you go on my Twitter or on Instagram, either my Instagram or Campaigns and Concoctions Pod Instagram, you can see this beautiful golden drink, and it is absolutely delicious.
Better than it looks, too.
Yeah, and since
good.
I've got some free time, I'm probably going to put together some tutorials that'll go up on TikTok and Instagram Reels, and I'll share them in our Discord as well as to how to make some of my syrups, some of my reductions, some of that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in learning how to make some of the delicious things that I concoct on my own to add to your cocktails at home, definitely check us out in the next couple of weeks here, because I've got a lot of free time right now, and I'm gonna be doing some cool shit while I've got the time to do so, as long as my strength holds up. So
My response there was actually based on your discussion about where the ingredients were made.
oh, valid.
I got it.
I didn't. I lost a lot of blood and I've been drinking.
Oh,
It's not untrue.
it's not untrue.
I'm still technically recovering from my birthday last night, so
Oh, that'll do it. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I was talking to the young bucks I mentor, getting ready to go in the service, and they just kept saying, "Well, drink more, man. Drink more. You're not that old. Drink more." And,
Right? You're not that old.
I am, though.
Yeah.
yeah, yours is coming up too, fool.
I know.
So the six of
41
you,
sounds so much older than 40.
it does. Yeah.
Ooh, it feels dirty. What? There
Fucking
you go.
old ass motherfucker.
41, dude.
Yeah. Dirty? He's not wrong.
You're old as shit, Curtis. You're old as
All
shit.
right.
And then 41's like,
Okay.
Take it back a notch. All right.
So the six of you exit the
Yes.
Yaltor's building. Sark has the crate.
Yep.
And I think Sark is heading directly towards the airship, yeah?
Yeah. Sark's just going to head to the airship because in his brain, we're not leaving till the morning so we can get there and back in one day and not have to stay out near the crazy guy if possible. Not because he's a danger, but because he may attract danger.
Yeah. Skeld is nonchalantly acting as an escort because, well, he doesn't really give a shit about what's in the crate. He understands it's valuable.
So you return back to the Shirlane. The captain and the crew are just kind of going through. You notice that their level of professionalism is so high that anytime that they know that they're going to be sitting for a while, they go and they do just the typical maintenance that's needed on any kind of ship. And like they're busy doing all the things. They're, you know, the person who is the seamstress, she's sewing any kind of tears in the sails. The carpenter's going to work. All the bosuns are working. So it's like there's a lot of an activity around the ship because they have a feeling that they're not going to be going anywhere for a while. As you return, Captain McKenzie, oh hey y'all, welcome back. Did not expect you so soon. I hope that you're not planning on us leaving anywhere anytime.
Oh.
It was under my impression that we're going to be here for a minute. So I've got the crew doing just some little maintenance that needs to get done.
You're correct.
Okay. I just want to double check. Is there anything that y'all need from me while you're aboard for that little bit of time?
No, because I think this crate's small enough that we can stash it in one of our rooms. It'll be going out with us tomorrow on a delivery. Yeah. We'll be here at least 2 more days, maybe 3.
Okay. That sounds good. He goes back to work. And then Sark, there was something else you wanted to do real quick?
Sark floated it to L earlier, but he's going to look at everyone else and be like, we should pull a bottle off our Haven Reserve to send to him as a further gift.
I agree. It sounds like a 1-to-1 replacement for the amount of whiskey that we drank at least.
Seems right.
My only problem with that, do we have an empty bottle to use? Because currently all my bottles are full.
We have many empty bottles in my quarters.
Can we get Cookie to clean one before we fill it up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
He does know the process to sanitize that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he can get it sanitized and prepped up for you guys. So yep.
As I say that, I'll turn to Captain McKenzie and be like, "Can we borrow one of your guys to be a runner?"
Yeah.
Of course. That ain't no thing.
Okay. It's just running a bottle of booze to the local bookseller.
We can make that happen.
Much obliged. And then he will wander down and put the crate inside the big room, so Scald and Patrice's room, because it's flammable material and he's not putting it in his room.
Super valid. Yeah. Mostly I just deal with water.
Awesome. Well, with that, we're gonna kind of wrap it up a little bit early because I feel bad every time we introduce really cool NPCs. Matt seems to not be here. You know,
whose fault is that, Matthew?
I'm not saying it's not his fault, but it's his corporate overlord's fault.
Why did he decide to go to a mandatory trade show for his job where he makes a living that pays his rent on a weekend where he knew he would be playing D&D? That's all I want to know. Fucking make better life choices, Matthew.
Because you'll never hear this.
Never. He'll never hear this.
No, but it's hilarious. I got to figure out a way to
tell him to listen at exactly what minute and second it is. He still won't. Yep.
So Morgan, I do have one thing that I want to do just for your reference.
Okay.
Ella's going to try to use mending on the book that on the Epic of Gilgard that he got.
Ooh.
Okay. So when you cast mending on it, it doesn't replace the things that are missing, and it doesn't actually bring the writing back. But what it does is it makes the binding itself stronger. Mm-hmm. So it actually kind of repairs a little bit of the book, and it doesn't harm it in a way of like a binding would now. So it still looks like it's the same book, but as someone who has seen it, you know that it's now going to be more solid, and you're not going to have to worry about it. So
worth a shot to see if it would repair the pages. I didn't think it would.
Worth a shot.
Can I lay a foreshadow?
What?
A foreshadowing?
What are you foreshadowing?
So as we close, Sid is going to light her pipe and crack the scroll, sitting at the front of the ship.
Yeah, because we definitely don't have time for that.
No, I know that's a foreshadowing.
But next time, just wait for the start of the next session, man.
Yeah.
So, but with that, thank you everyone as always for going along on this ride with us. 1 year in 52 weeks.
1 year.
I cannot believe it. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate it.
Paper. We're at paper.
24 episodes, if my notes are correct.
Yep, this is episode.
We all got books and games, so it works out.
Yeah, that's right. We all did, except for Scout.
The only reason that we are not at 26 is we had to skip 2 weeks because of COVID. That's it.
That's fair. That's
2 episodes because of COVID. Yeah. So we've done a pretty good job overall.
Yeah, that's not bad.
As always, thank you so much for joining us on this adventure of cooperative storytelling. If you like what you hear, please, if you're on iTunes, give us 5 stars, rate us, review us, follow us on Spotify, any of the other platforms that we have. Go ahead and subscribe. It does matter. Share us on the socials. We do appreciate it. The links to all of our interwebby things will be in the description in the show notes. We can't thank you guys enough. Actually, I checked it. We had 2 people download the episode as we were recording this episode last episode.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So it's super awesome. We really appreciate it. Get with us on our things, the Discord. It's always hopping. We really appreciate you guys. But until next time, drink well.
Drink well.
Drink well.